brutally shot by Officer Darren Wilson back in 2014.
This is not the world that I thought I'd be living in.
Unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police.
We report again tonight on the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery.
The tactic used on George Floyd was a knee on the neck.
My family left the Civil War, and now we just joined another one.
The more they think you're grown, the more you're in danger of getting killed by them.
It feels like a bad dream. And maybe, just maybe, the American dream has always been an African nightmare. We're dealing with a pandemic,
fast-breaking developments in the coronavirus emergency in the U.S.,
unemployment skyrocketing,
just such a unique no-playbook period. It's hard to draw conclusions.
And all this adds up to a massive mental health crisis.
There are family members that don't want to acknowledge that somebody has mental illness.
When we look at our leaders, from Malcolm X to MLK, Angela Davis to Afeni Shakur, we may see what they helped us achieve, but we might not know enough about their personal struggles. PTSD, intergenerational trauma, constant anxiety, unimaginable grief. How did they fight for a better world while caring for their families, their community, and the hardest thing, caring for themselves?
It's difficult to balance all that, and it really affects you, because the more you get to see, the ills, of our community, what's happening out there that really affects our community. You're also traumatized.
I wanted to know what life was like on the ground for organizers, those new to the movement.
When you're actually out in the streets and you're really yelling into the megaphone.
And the veterans.
Being brave enough to say, I don't want to live in that world.
The people who've been doing the work. The people who fight to survive while also trying to thrive.
We need educators, we need caretakers, and we need them people that's gonna be on the front lines throwing bricks. We need them.
It's undeniable. The atrocities that are happening are undeniable, and we're seeing them with our own eyes.
And I know there's wisdom we can gain from the people organizing right now.
Organized by talking to my students. I can organize by teaching my younger siblings. I can organize by talking to my friends.
Whatever time that I have to go protest, I use it to go protest.
A number of ways we run summer program, freedom schools, as well as doing restorative justice.
So let's hear their stories.
I probably was an activist since I was 2 years old.
More taught to actually, fight against injustices.
The folks that have already been doing organizing throughout the city for years and decades, I think that I just hit the ground running.
I remember actually in both elementary school and middle school, if I see any unjust thing or anything that I don't agree with, that I will organize the kids.
I was always learning about things that were happening in the world, and I always wanted to speak out.
I was born in Somalia. I guess choice or unchosen, revolution was gonna happen with my life.
Worldwide, we have a mental health crisis. 40 million people in the US have anxiety disorders, but only 37% receive treatment. Depression is rampant, all coupled up with racialized trauma. It's clear, many people in our communities are struggling, and our leaders are not immune.
In the bed, I'm resting, I'm sleeping. Sometimes you think about what's happening and you're being re-traumatized the more you see negative things out there, right?
Mental health is really a taboo subject for the Black community in general, whether you came from the continent or not. It's not something we totally understand. It's an episode someone's having and we almost pray over that it'll go quick away.
Nobody brings it up. It's a stigma, that's associated with it.
It's very silent, it's very quiet, it's very subtle. It's hidden in plain sight.
It's important to seek help. Just keeping it to yourself is not gonna work because people see mental health as a problem. And then other people are gonna look at you differently.
If you say that you have any sort of mental health issue, you're considered crazy.
If I sit down and think enough, give me 5 minutes, I'll probably break down in tears, just with the amount of things that are always on my heart.
What used to depress me is the fact that I thought I wasn't doing enough, even when I was sometimes working 16 hours a day, right?
The constant battle every day.
Skipping meals to organize, skipping meals to protest.
I've had another family member that had committed suicide. Like, the stuff is real. It's out there. We can be in denial, or we can understand it and accept it.
We can be surrounded by anger, disturbing news, and traumatizing images.
Social media feed, trying to see some good news, and it's just death and death.
I don't want the last thing I see before I go to bed be a knee on the neck.
Brother that's getting killed that calls out for his mother. It's inhumane. Even the white mothers felt it. Any mother felt it. Every mother felt it.
Really actually distressed and sad, and I cried, just regretted watching that.
Some of the things are still on your mind. It's okay. It's okay to cry.
You just log on and you start seeing these new images and you almost don't even get a chance to say no.
It's hurtful, or even for your daughter, because it's not only black men getting killed, it's black women who are getting killed. So looking at that, it's just hurtful, because you're like, 10 years from now, I don't want to be the one who talks to my son about, this is how you need to act when you see an officer.
It's crazy. I wish we didn't have to. I say this all the time now. I wish we didn't have to do this.
If you keep doing what you're doing, you don't get enough rest. You're not gonna keep going.
I found the best therapy, person that really understood me, and just let me just go internally and face my trauma and all that. It was really helpful.
My counselor and we would talk about everything, and what a relief that is.
If you're not taking care of yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, then you're not good for anyone or for the movement for that matter.
To open our minds to the idea that mental health is one of the pillars of our existence.
Most people will actually support other organizers if people can be upfront about their needs.
If the work gets harder, if the initial inspiration fades, how do we hold on to our hope?
It gives me hope and clarity, and it makes it clear we're not done yet. Because I can see the younger generation isn't done either.
What inspires me, what gives me hope, is this opportunity to do something radically different.
There's so much good in humanity, and I think we need to continue to recognize that in each other.
May we be filled with hope that our loved ones and the ones to come can inherit a better tomorrow. The reality is, we're not just fighting against oppression and injustice. We're also fighting for our children, for our mothers. We fight to build relationships, to explore our world, to be curious, to enjoy life. We're fighting for a chance to love. We're fighting for a chance to thrive. This isn't the world I thought I'd be living in. Let's build the one we deserve.